I don't know about you guys, but I am getting really freaking tired of hearing the Call of Duty community blaming skill-based matchmaking in the game, because they think that just because every single multiplayer match they go into, it seems to be like a sweaty lobby, they feel like they're getting their butts kicked than they normally do in previous Call of Duty games, and so therefore the Call of Duty community is blaming that on skill-based matchmaking. So in case you guys are like out of the loop and you don't even know what skill-based matchmaking is, basically skill-based matchmaking is kind of a thing in the game where when you play online multiplayer, it pairs you up with people who have similar skill level as you, and you're probably thinking, well, how the hell does a game figure out what your skill level is compared to other people? Well, if you look at your combat record, look at your KD ratio and maybe your win-loss ratio, then it'll try and pair up to people, I should say, who have similar like KD ratios and win-loss ratios, you know? You guys get what I'm saying. So anyway, the Call of Duty community seems to believe that skill-based matchmaking is tuned up really high in the game. Now, every single Call of Duty game has a skill-based matchmaking sort of feature in it, and it's like public multiplayer matches, right? But they're never really tuned up really high, because normally you can pretty much connect it with anybody randomly, you know? And so, really, skill-based matchmaking isn't really a big part that the developers focus on, but the community for this year in Call of Duty World War II, the community seems to believe that the developers actually like tuned up skill-based matchmaking a lot higher than what the previous Call of Duty games have had. And the reason why people are saying that is because they think they're getting their butts kicked in every single multiplayer match, or maybe not every single multiplayer match, but in the majority of the matches they're playing, and they feel like they're not performing as well as they should, as they think they should. And so I'm just going to say this to you guys right now. Has it ever occurred to you that maybe the Call of Duty community are just becoming better players? I mean, think about it. Think about it, you guys. The Call of Duty has been going on for many years right now. We've gone from Call of Duty 4, which started the franchise. I mean, it didn't start the franchise, but it started, like, it's pretty much its roots for becoming really popular. And now we're here back at World War II. We just got done through the futuristic jetpack exosuit phase. Now we're back here on boots on the ground. Has it ever occurred to you guys that the community is just becoming better at Call of Duty? I mean, it just baffles me how nobody realizes this. How can nobody realize that the community might just be becoming better? And, you know, I actually made a video talking about this earlier, and in that video, I got a comment on there. For some reason, it was in my spam folder. I don't really know why, but this guy wrote this really long, like, message on my comment section, and he was, like, giving me an example of, like, why skill-based matchmaking is actually in the game. He said he made a different account just to prove it does exist, and he was saying he, like, went totally negative in his second account to see what kind of players he went up against, and he said that since he had, like, a really bad KD ratio, he always went up against bad players. And so, I don't really know. I mean, maybe he's just basing it off of one match he played, so I mean, I don't even know why it was in my spam folder in the first place, but yeah, I honestly believe the Call of Duty community is just getting better at Call of Duty, you guys. Now, for someone, like, I've been playing Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 3's, like, prime, like, during the prime days of Modern Warfare 3, that's, like, pretty much when I started playing Call of Duty, and so I really don't consider myself a very good player. I was not I'm not that great of a player, but I feel like I'm an above average player. And if you guys are wondering what my KD is in the game, I have a 1.38 KD, which really isn't that good. I'm going to be completely honest with you, a 1.38 KD really isn't that great, you know. I mean, I'm not even sure what the average KD is in Call of Duty World War II, but when I went into Call of Duty World War II, I'm really stuttering here because I talk too fast, but when the game first came out, my expectations were high. Like, I had high expectations of me actually trying to perform well, and my ultimate goal is to try to get a 2 KD when I reach Master Prestige. That's my ultimate goal, is an average of a 2 KD once I reach Master Prestige in my combat record. That is my ultimate goal. But anyway, yes, I will say that it does seem harder. I will say that Call of Duty World War II, it definitely feels like I'm going up against players who are similar skill as me, and I feel like I'm not performing as well as I think I should have, and I think everybody else feels the same way, but I'm not blaming it on skill-based matchmaking. And a matter of fact, this game is way different than any Call of Duty game we've ever played. First of all, we just got done with the jetpack phase, right? We were all used to the Black Ops 3 jetpack, Infinite Warfare's jetpack, Advanced Warfare's exosuits, right? Which was Sledgehammer's last Call of Duty game, and their first Call of Duty game. But yes, we just got done with that phase, you guys. So now we have to get used to going back to boots on the ground. Plus, there's another thing that I don't think a lot of people realize is that in previous Call of Duty games, we were able to select up to 3 different perks, right? Which, of course, perks can make us do something different, like we can either run faster, we can, I don't know, like you guys know what perks are, right? But then in this game, we don't have perks. We have basic trainings, which pretty much are perks, but we're only allowed to have 1 basic training at a time. And so therefore we're kind of limited on like what kind of perks we kind of use in the game. But then again, we also do have some sort of like perks through our divisions as well. And just the game plays differently, you know, like the game is playing way differently than any other Call of Duty game. The multiplayer maps are set up way differently than what we've ever seen before. The game is different, you know, it's still a Call of Duty game. I mean, it still feels like a Call of Duty game, but it just plays ultimately differently than any Call of Duty game that I've personally ever played before. So I'm just saying that right now, you guys, that the game plays way differently, so therefore we're not used to the game, you know, and so we might not perform as well as we think we do. So I'm just throwing that out there, you guys. I'm really sick of the Call of Duty community just going out there and blaming everything on skill-based matchmaking, because honestly, I don't think that's the reason. I think that the community is honestly getting better. The game is completely different than any Call of Duty game we've ever played before. Now, let's say like let's say this year we didn't get Call of Duty World War II. Let's say we got Black Ops Remastered or something like the original Black Ops, which if they come out with a Black Ops Remastered, you guys, well, get ready for my YouTube channel just being only Black Ops content, because holy shit, that's like one of my favorite Call of Duty games ever made. But anyway, if let's say we got Black Ops Remastered, I guarantee you then maybe people would actually be good at the game, because in Black Ops, we already know everything that's in Black Ops, right? We didn't know everything in Call of Duty World War II. If we were to get a remastered video game of Call of Duty that was made before, like we already know everything in the game and we've played it before, so it'll be easier for us to actually be good at that game. But since this is a totally new Call of Duty game, it's hard to be good at it. Now, I will say this, Drifter, if you guys don't know who Drifter is, then gosh, that's kind of sad, because he is an awesome YouTuber. He makes the in-depth series for Call of Duty World War II in every Call of Duty game, basically. And so anyway, Drifter, he actually has this $1,000 challenge for anybody to prove that skill-based I can't even say it, skill-based matchmaking, I don't know why I can't even say it. But anyway, Drifter has a challenge where he will pay someone, he will straight up pay someone $1,000 if they can prove with hard evidence that skill-based matchmaking is not in the game, or if skill-based matchmaking is in the game, right? So it doesn't matter if you can prove that skill-based matchmaking is in the game or if skill-based matchmaking is not in the game. As long as you have like hard evidence that totally proves your point, then Drifter will pay you $1,000. But that challenge is now over, it seems like, because on Twitter, Drifter announced that he has paid the guy $1,000. But he did not announce if he proved that skills-based matchmaking does exist or does not exist. I'm assuming he's going to come out with a video here soon, so that way we'll know the answer. I'm not sure how someone could figure this out. I'm sure you have to go through like code files on the computer or something for the PC game and stuff like that. But I'm kind of curious what this guy came up with. But yeah, that Drifter totally straight up paid him $1,000. And anyway, to end this video off, you guys, what are your thoughts down below in the comments? Do you guys actually believe skill-based matchmaking is in the game? Because you guys have heard my opinions. I mean, I feel the same way as you guys do. I feel like I'm getting my butt kicked when in reality, I don't think I should get my butt kicked, you know? I've been an experienced Call of Duty player for a long time now, and I feel like I shouldn't be getting my ass kicked in most of the games, but that just happens to be the case. Also, I'd like to mention that the majority of the community uses fully automatic weapons, and I'm just going to let you guys know, you guys are a bunch of assholes, because I'm a semi-automatic rifle guy, and and that's probably one of the reasons why I'm actually doing bad in the game, because I always use semi-autos. But anyway, yes, I just hate people who use semi-automatic weapons. They are just, especially the submachine guns category. Gosh, everybody uses those. But anyway, my point is, I don't believe there's skill-based matchmaking. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments below. What are your guys' thoughts on this like whole process and problem going out throughout the community? I would like to hear your thoughts down below. I will read them and I will reply to you guys if you have any questions. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video off here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Call of Duty videos later in the future, and I shall catch you guys later.